we are big friends and fans of that organization. I think they're really understanding the space well. They are applying this thing called securities law to business in America and other places, as they have done for many decades successfully. They're identifying fraudulent projects. They're identifying obvious transgressions of securities law. But they haven't had a heavy touch, really. They've been gathering information. They've been taking some actions. They've been very clear that they understand there is this new construct, this protocol-based open platform.
So you think they get it?
Yeah, we believe they get it.
Hey everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was Joseph Lubin, the co-founder of Consensus, that built the wallet MetaMask. But keep in mind that MetaMask is much more than a wallet these days. You can transfer value across many different protocols, no KYC, and there are services that make it a powerful financial services app. So it is not just a non-custodial wallet, which is, I think, the story that's being told. As an XRP holder, I know that it feels tempting to feel happy that Lubin is caught in this snare. Well, he is taking a very offensive move by now suing the SEC. And it just occurred about 20 hours ago. This threat from the SEC attacking the wallet and financial services MetaMask would jeopardize the U.S. ability to use Ethereum and similar technologies. So we're talking it could impact smart contracts. That's very serious. I am sure many agree that this unlawful power grab threatens to undermine America's position as a leader of the next generation of the internet. I mean, if you can't go after the digital asset, then bring it down with the tools that utilize it. So if this attack is successful, it would have an effect, I'm afraid, on non-custodial wallets, even if they didn't have those attached services. The non-Ethereum community uses many non-custodial wallets. I mean, for the XRP community, I think Bifrost and Zaman are two of the most popular, but there are a whole host of others that would also be under attack. In this video, I'm going to share with you where you can find the email from Ripple's president, Monica Long, because somebody with very poor research skills thinks that it was photoshopped. I'm talking about the fact that Ripple is using USD Tether for some of their ODL, on-demand liquidity corridors. And yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about Tether. So first, this interview article that you see on the screen took place at the Paris blockchain. It was published 6 days ago and confirms yet in another place again that Ripple is using stablecoins in their payment flows. They're using them as a bridge currency. But there was a portion of this article that I didn't quite understand. And so I reached out and asked David Schwartz, Ripple's CTO, to help me understand, and he did. I posted the following: a rare question from me, Joel Katz. Can you help me understand Eric Van Miltenberg, he is a Ripple senior vice president, in the Digital Frontiers article interview, which I included the link, explained for some of the payment corridors with its network Ripple has been using stablecoins. Okay, no problem there. But he also said that Ripple stablecoin will be good for the XRP ledger because it compares it to stablecoins introduced to other blockchains like Polygon that have increased the level of total value locked on the chain, improving trust. I didn't follow that comparison. So I asked, what does it mean? What's locked up? The Ripple stablecoin is backed 1-to-1 to the US dollar deposits, short-term US government treasuries, and other cash equivalents, according to the Ripple announcement. So my question was, are some of those cash equivalents going to be the digital asset XRP held by Ripple? If not, why compare it to increased total value locked? Thank you, sir. And that was my question. I didn't quite understand how the stablecoin was going to create an increase of total value locked on the ledger. Here's his answer. Currently, there's not really any native way to lock up assets on the XRP ledger. What I think Eric was talking about was how having high quality stablecoins has driven usage of other blockchains as measured by the increase in value locked. On XRP Ledger, you'd expect to see people using stablecoins as a way to hold money when they don't want to hold cryptocurrency, as the asset for AMMs to use in addition to XRP, and also as a way of increasing the general usability and functionality of XRP Ledger, and so on. Broadly, he goes on to say, he thinks that his point is that high quality stablecoins make blockchains more interesting and useful. I thank David for his reply, and creating more value, usefulness, and attracting interest to a chain are both very important. But I told him I was secretly hoping for an unannounced XRP lockup mechanism in the cash equivalents. Yeah, thanks again, David, for answering that. A couple of days ago, I shared an email from Monica Long, and it's just a portion of this email, which was included in the documents for the Ripple Remedies reply, and somebody thought that it had been photoshopped. It is Exhibit F in the Ripple's Remedy reply, and it's on page 141, 42, and 43. And I put the case number on my X feed, and should you get that case number and go to the website that is called Pacer, Pacer, you can then download the 186 pages. Let's just talk a little bit about Tether. You can see that the Tether exchange balance hits highest level in a year, and it just keeps rising. It's currently at 568 million. Some maybe have missed that Tether is making some compliance improvements. Tether is going to launch a tokenization platform, and it's going to be a white label solution. You can see they're going to use the multi-sig asset management. Also, they will be KYC, AML compliant. And the audits, well, you can all view them from the BDO audit company. They're one of the top 4, and they're located online on their website. Now, governments may well try to cut them off at the knees, but that's not because they're a scam. It's all because jurisdiction and the control of sovereign fiat. Another step towards trying to comply, you can see 4 days ago, Tether vows to freeze assets after Venezuela looks to crypto to bypass oil sanctions. The Ripple stablecoin should enjoy the new proposed stablecoin regulation that's coming out of Congress in the US. Now, when we look at the global transactions and by volume, Tether is number 1. It's issued by a non-US entity, so it will not be a permitted payment token under the bill. Now, here's what's going to be very interesting to watch, and I have no idea how it's going to shake out. But how strong will these countries outside of the US support another US-issued stablecoin? Looking at a third-party assessment, we've got the S&P Global. They gave the USDC coin a negative rating where Tether was neutral, for the separation of funds and lack of certainty regarding the bankruptcy remoteness of the collateral assets from Circle more broadly, and USDC's secondary market price depeg in March 2023. That was a result of holding a portion of its assets with Silicon Valley Bank. The stablecoin stability assessment for Tether was also something that scored lower. It was considered constrained because it reflects a lack of information on entities that are custodians, counterparties, and bank account providers. This is pretty big news. After a 6-year hiatus, Stripe is going to start taking crypto payments, starting with the USD stablecoin. That's great. I'm going to let the CEO of Tether take you out. He was asked a very interesting question. If he had to choose another asset to back the Tether stablecoin, what would that be? All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
So US dollars, I mean, especially in this crowd, they are heavily criticized and they're often made out to be something that could collapse any day now, right? So have you thought about adding an additional product that doesn't just use US dollars or treasury bills as the underlying collateral, but having some sort of basket of currencies or like special drawing rights and so basically adding like the Swiss franc and the euro and the yen and so on to the mix?
So this is a great question and there is a lot to unpack. The thing is that, so again, if you are scared about the US dollar, is probably the reason why you should be scared is that eventually, like in the Weimar Republic, you might be able to buy a loaf of bread with $1 billion, right? But I can tell you, and if the dollar gets to that point, the euro is long gone. And that's not speak about the Japanese yen. Well, the Swiss franc is probably the only thing that will remain and will survive because Swiss people understand finance better than anyone else. But there is no other basket. The only thing that would make sense is gold.